Guess we'll jump back in here. If you're rewatching this or checking back in, last stream got bounced off. Apparently, they didn't like me showing off firing pins or something like that. So uh, it is unfortunate, but we will continue on. I can only imagine it was the poster in the background. I can't think of anything else really that we might have inadvertently let slip. So maybe it was the upper receiver. Who knows? But welcome back. We'll continue on. Give you guys another 15 minutes or so since I was a little bit late. And so if you got any questions, um, jump in and you know we'll figure out what's going on. So uh, CT, do you know if and you guys answer these questions for me, but uh, is the live? It's gone. The live stream will just be gone since it was bounced off. I don't think it'll save to the channel. I know in the past when it does that, it's not saved. So um, if you can, just I don't know. We'll try to cover some of the topics in here. So someone had asked uh, some of the things. One of the things was about the enhanced firing pin. So we'll just jump back into it. These are the standard firing pin, enhanced firing pin. No difference in the geometry, with the exception of the that little right here. You can see that the one has kind of a dish, where the other one's kind of squared off. That's just so you can tell the difference. So, but other than that, raging steel, much stronger. So if you want to, just put your reliability woes at ease, then you can do that. So, what's shaking, Dan? Adam, you're crazy. Oh boy. All right. Well, so we're back. I got 18 of you. I know everybody else was like, "Screw this guy. He doesn't know how to make a live stream stick." So, uh, for the people that came back, I appreciate it. Sorry if you know. Uh, you have any issues. You were about to answer a question about suppressors. So, LMT Defense is no longer developing any suppressors or manufacturing any suppressors. That is all under the new LMT Advanced Technologies brand. So, if you're looking for LMT suppressors, that is the go-to place to check that out. So, when will more gray buffer tubes be available? Didn't we just sell a bunch of them on Black Friday? I think they're on sale. 556, 308, and it's not gray, I guess. They were black. The uh, the M4 spec. So four positions instead of the normal six. But these were made uh, to the direct mill spec. So if you're a big cloner guy, then that is the go-to buffer tube. You won't get anything closer. Um, yeah. Yeah, YouTube took us down. It's all right. We're back. We're back. And we won't sorry YouTube, we won't do anything bad anymore, I guess. Uh let's see what else. Never seen an LMT in person, but would give any body part for a certain. Oh boy. Yeah. So one thing that was talked about was Allegiant Rifle Works, and their shop being a premier LMT partner. That means that uh, in addition to being a fantastic sales partner like Titan or Primary Arms or V1 Tactical or one of the other many dealers that we have, uh, Big Tex Ordnance, you know, they will have premier service capabilities up to and including Cerakote, being able to put your laser back on and re-DFL the inside of the upper. So be ready to check them out. Or if you have a warranty claim, they will be able to handle the warranties on site rather than having them come back to the shop here in Iowa. So if you're in Texas and you want to take advantage of that, plus stop in and say hi to the guys, they're a fantastic group. Um, we will have that available. So that was one of the things that was dropped in our last live that went up. So I'm late. What's up, Joe and friends? Captain's orders. Hello. You're not really late. We got kicked off, so you're right on time now for part two. Um, let's see. Let's see what else. Canteen green. I bet you'd like that. So there will no longer be any gray six position buffer tube kits. Oh, kits? You might have been all right. So we will still do kits, but right now it was just buffer tubes that were getting to the website. It's just much easier to get the parts out there rather than build the kits. Our production and assembly teams are absolutely cooking overtime right now, so we want to limit the amount of stuff that we're pushing through there. So. Let's see. Warranty stuff. So we try to get warranty repairs out pretty quickly. Now, like I said, we're kind of a small team and we're really busy right now. So um, generally, if it's something very simple, like we get it in, we fix something, we can get it right back out. Now, if it's something that requires a new part, like an upper receiver or a barrel, that may be extended times. So be patient with us, and we'll get it to you as soon as we can. But if it's something that we have the replacement part in stock, it shouldn't be more than a couple day turnaround once it gets to our shop. Is there anything else included besides the sights? One of the things that we covered in the last stream was the rear sight for the Estonian reference rifle is different than a standard one. The standard one has a large peep and a small peep, like your standard mil spec rear sight. On the Estonian rifle, it has two peeps of the same size, but they're in different location because of the bullet drop of SS 109 or 855. So that was something very unique and specific to the Estonia gun that's not found in any other gun, and that sight is not sold anywhere else. So the only thing else that's different that should be shipping with those weapon systems, obviously, there's the Axle Euro trigger, 14.3 barrel instead of a 14.5 barrel. It's pinned and welded to make it a legal 16. It has our updated gas block design and piston piston plug. The gas block does come with a bayonet lug on it, which is not found on any other piston, and features a Magpul SLK stock. And I think that's about it, as well as their factory ordered sling. So there's a new sling that comes, not a new sling. It's not our sling. It's the sling that they ordered. So let's see, 308 bolts and carriers anytime soon. Unfortunately, not nothing that will hit the website. We got a lot of back orders to catch up with on complete rifles and to back orders. So we got a lot of 308 bolt carrier groups back ordered to customers. So those will be our priority. And then once those are caught up, we will make sure we stock the website. So sorry about that. Let's see what else. Battle rifles coming soon. Yeah, we'll have some first quarter of the year. We're trying to get out about 300 plus 308 rifles in various configuration. So, what shop did you mention? Texas of the premium LMT shop. That is Allegiant Rifle Works in McKinney, Texas. Fantastic, fantastic group of guys. So. Brian Westfall, NEET on rifle length quad, L7 RA 1A. Awesome. You guys know the parts, unless you just went and looked at the website and you cheated. We should have both rifle length quad and M-LOK out in the first quarter within January, February. We're running them right now. Got some new forgings in for them. So hit that like button. Ow. I appreciate that. So we'll give another about 5 minutes. So hit me with some questions. Actually, you know what? Let me do this because I know that some folks had because we're just going to do general banner. That's the name of the thing. So people had asked on the YouTube, not the YouTube, the face space, uh, which they're all owned by the same people and controlled. So let's see here. There's some topics you guys had mentioned on here, and I'll just answer a couple of them. David, I'm not even going to pronounce your last name. It starts with a T. Is the Barrett MRAD barrel lockup license from LMT? They look the same. They do look the same, but they are not licensed. So when it comes to, we have a patent on the MRP, but the MRAD does not violate that patent. So it just shows you what a very cool design it is that Barrett was able to pick it up and work around the patent to use it for their MRAD. So it's a very nice design, and other people have identified it as being a very cool system to use. John Zelma, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce that, said, "Hey Joe, can you tell us about the cryo treatment for LMT barrels and what is the accuracy standard that LMT barrels have to meet when you shoot them for accuracy?" So the cryo treatment, cryogenically treated barrels, are not cold hammer forged, and cryo doesn't even really mean cold. Um, when we say cryogenically treated, that means when we heat treat the barrels. So if you think about, and I talked about this in another live stream, but we'll go over it again. Um, if you were to, like in the movies when they're forging a sword or something like that, or smithing it, they'll take that red hot steel sword and they will quench it into oil usually. Um, Basically, what that does is it kind of locks in that heat treat, and when you're uh, metalworking, that can make or break the thing. Usually, you'll hear a crack or something like that. If you don't hear anything, you've got a good solid blade. I learned this from what's it, Forged in Fire. I'm pretty much an expert when it comes to that stuff now. So when we heat treat our barrels, we get them up to the temperature that they get heat treated at and stress relieved, and we let them naturally come down at room temperature. We don't force cool them. So that allows that heat treat to sit in and soak a little bit better. So that's what we do for cryogenically treating. When it comes, which is different than a lot of other people do heat treat. When it comes to the accuracy, 1.5 MOA is the standard that they have to meet when they leave the factory. That's out of like the first 10 rounds. So your mileage may vary. You get it home, you put your ammo through it, you got your scope and all that stuff. I usually tell customers that put your optic on, shoot some rounds, get some general ammo shot through it, sight in your scope within that 100 rounds, and don't baby it. Don't take 5 rounds, clean the barrel. Don't worry about that. These are combat weapons. They're not precision rifles. They're not CMP match rifles. Now some of our 6.5 stuff, the stainless steel barrels, those are 5R cut rifled. They will shoot a little bit more accurate. But what I like to do is get a general copper foul in, and that happens in the first 100 rounds. Get the barrel a little bit hot. That's never going to hurt anything. And then shoot for your accuracy with good accuracy ammo. Now, when we shoot that 1.5 out of those initial rounds, we're using Mark 262, which is hard for people to get their hands on. So you're not going to be able to generally match that shooting, UMC or Privy Partisan or anything like that. So understand that we are using match ammo. Prototypes that didn't make the cut. Uh, Joe Goins was asking about prototypes that didn't make the cut. I can't think of any active prototypes that we have that haven't ended up in some sort of user's hands. So don't have any at right now. Show us some scrapped or crash parts. Man, I wish I could. Wish I had some. Um, off top of my head. I don't have any here, but just like any other CNC machine, we do have crashes, and they aren't pretty when they happen. Uh, David T. Hey, I know you. You're right here somewhere, right there. Yeah, nice to see you. Glad you could join us. Um, Jamie Peters, short rifle length gas, 308, 6.5, suppressor friendly. But it shouldn't be the default answer for things that should be a factory option. So right now, what a lot of people are doing is they're chopping the barrel because of the availability of our barrels. So I was talking to Dave Wilson the other day. Great guy, runs a great shop. I highly recommend seeing him. But he's chopping a lot of 16-inch barrels to 12.5 because we can't keep up with that 12.5 demand. It's not that they're not a factory option. That we can't make a barrel for everything. Now, if you take a look at FN, SIG, Colt, Daniel Defense, they don't have 200 different types of barrels. We have quite a few barrels if you look at what's available for our MRP. So we can't offer everything under the sun. So there will be Smiths that offer options for you in the form of customization. So that's always going to be a thing. What are the pros and cons? Sam Inabi? I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Sam I, we're going to call it. I'd like to know some of the pros and cons of the 12.5 mid-gas barrel. Some people are fans, and some say are not as reliable. I haven't heard anybody say anything about reliability being bad on the 12.5 barrels. The 12.5 mid-gas barrel is a barrel that was developed by me with a partnership of a group of guys in the spec war community. That's why it's prevalent on the spec war upper. This was basically a GPC, general purpose carbine barrel that could do anything. It could shoot out to 500 or 600 yards. It'll be used in CQB, vehicle-borne, airborne operations, that sort of stuff. And is a very good host for a suppressor. So that was where this barrel came from. The pros and cons of it. It's not as short as some people like it. Some people want like 6-inch barrels, and some people like longer barrels, like a 14.7 and 9/8 or something like that. I don't freaking know which is actually 14. Whatever. It's longer than 14.7. It's what I'm saying. There's no real con to it other than personal preference, and the pros to it are it blends a good variety. Yeah, Peter. Yes, we did get taken down. Stephen Page. I know I'm saying because I can read it. It is the way it is because of how it is. Reliability and torture tests, LMT is done. We do reliability and torture tests for nearly every contract we do. We usually call them endurance testing to see how long they'll go. So with Estonia, I can't give all the details, specific details, but endurance testing went north of 50,000 rounds for one weapon system. And in there, we accommodate for stoppages due to magazines, weapon failures, or not weapon failures, ammunition failures. But when we look at that 50,000 rounds, we look at the overall, what it's shooting for accuracy, what the cyclic speed is sped up to. How does the fire control group look? How does the bolt carrier group look? What's the bore look like? So all those things, and then we compare that against our mil spec standards to put that weapon into service. So that's something that we do with nearly every single contract, whether it's a 308 rifle, 6.5 rifle. Does it always go to 50,000 rounds? No, a lot of that's determined by the customer's requirements for the rifle. There are some other stuff that we do that it's just basically for our knowledge and to make a better product for you guys. Let's see. So those are some of the Facebook questions. We'll come back over here, give you guys a couple more minutes, and then we'll wrap it up tonight for our part two. Uh, Actual triggers will be coming very soon. They were supposed to be out sooner rather than later, but we're running into a delay on our packaging. We got cool new packaging I think you guys will appreciate for the axle triggers. So soon, very soon. Why hard chrome the 308 carriers but not the 556? I think that just comes down to we don't have multiple options for 308. It's just the one carrier. I would show it to you, but I don't know what kicked this off last time. So I think I was safe with the firing pins. We're not going to show you anything else tonight. We are going to work on a new service. I think it'll be running directly through our website, and then we'll save the videos, upload them for your research purposes. Bleep bloop them later on. We don't hard chrome the 556 carriers because that's not the mil spec standard. It's still to do a phosphate, and we don't want to add any additional costs to our systems if they're not needed. So let's see here. What was his answer about the patent and Barrett? The answer was that it is not licensed. They didn't violate our patent, but it just shows that it's a very good idea and that there are companies out there working around to utilize that. Let's see here. H2 buffers. Oh, we should have had those for available, but oh man, I heard PSA makes stuff for LMT now. I saw this in one of the LMT groups. I think trying to remember what the original group it sourced from, but someone said that during this crunch time, that LMT has outsourced PSA to build our guns. I wish that were the case. Not because they're just as good, because they are guys. There's only like 5 forgings, so they are just as good. But man, it would be fantastic they use someone else's assembly team, train them on our quality and stuff like that and get some people in there. We have a big need for a second shift assembly crew. I'd like to have that, the amount of people doubled on second shift. And, it'd be fantastic to have more machine operators. So if you work for PSA and you want to elevate your standard of operation and what you think is acceptable to the customer, come on over. We'll give you a try. So, Palmetto State, I got nothing against them. I don't use any of their products, never have. But there are some people that do. And honestly, when it comes to it, I'm not going to talk crap about other brands. That'll be something that you won't hear me do, especially while wearing this badge. I won't be doing that because that's not becoming of an industry professional. So I'm not going to say anything about Palmetto State or their quality or anything like that. I just believe that, there are options out there for other people to have push their Second Amendment rights. So if everybody had to buy an LMT rifle, that was their only option, there would be a lot of unarmed civilians out there, and that's a bad thing. So I'm glad that there are options for everybody in a budget. I mean, I think you can build with a strip lower, or whatever. I think you could build a gun from PSA for like $350, which if that's all you can afford, man, go do that. That it's better than nothing. So enough about that. Let's see. Would LMT ever consider making a non-AR platform? I don't know. So our bread and butter is the MRP. That's really about it. Obviously, we've got our Defender and our Mars line of lowers. But I don't know. I don't know if we'd ever make a non-AR. Man, that's a good question. If you stop by the booth at SHOT Show, if you're coming out for SHOT Show, maybe grab Carl if you see him, and just ask him. Say, hey, is there anything else that you'd like to do different? I- I'd like to be a fly on the wall for that conversation and see what he would say because he's a very smart guy and he's got a lot of ideas going around in his brain from the years that he's been in the defense industry that it'd be cool to see what he has to say. So I know that there is some stuff that we've worked on I can't get into a whole lot of details, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Carl would have planned for the evolution of LMT in the decades to come. So, uh, is there plans to make upper with longer hand guards? So we won't get any longer than what's currently offered on the MRPL. I can't remember the 13s. So what you'd find on the like the M-LOK, the rifle length M-LOK quad, and the M-LOK and quad rifle length uppers, we probably won't get it ever any longer than that. Like a 15-inch rail, I don't think we'll ever do it, just because um, it would be difficult for like the guys who like to do their 13 sevens and 14s and 13 eights and 13 nines and all those weird things to make their whatevers work and pin and weld them. We don't want to alienate those guys. So we got our mid upper now with the spec war. We got our carbine upper. We've got our rifle length upper. That's probably where we'll stay. Will the shovel nose work well for a dissipator build? I feel like it's just too short. Well, a dissipator. I mean, I guess if you're talking about the real dissipator, a dissipator is like a 16-inch rifle gas. It, yeah, it won't work. Shovel nose isn't designed for that. You'll have to use our MRP, like the M-LOK upper receiver for that, which I have built a dissipator out of cut down a 20 down to 16, and it works good. Didn't cycle any of the lower power. Or it cycled, but didn't lock back on like UMC. Your standard Remington 223 and stuff like that. It didn't like the lock back on that. So, but I can't remember what buffer I was using. I was probably using an H. So if I went to a standard carbine, maybe it would have. I don't know. So let's see what else. We'll answer 5 more questions, then we're gonna wrap it up for the evening. It's getting late, and my battery percentage is down. I forgot I unplugged. Um, Accepting new dealers. Not at this time. We have a very good dealer chain. We would like to bring on new dealers, but honestly, we can't keep up with the dealers that we've got now. These guys are crazy out there, and they're really pushing the brand hard. So, no dealers as of right now. Piston conversion kit ETA, Jacob. We have some back orders that we're catching up on. So if you've got one on back order, you should be seeing it here in the first quarter of the year. Any update? That's 2. So our third question of the 5 for the evening. Any update on the 15.5 MWS M-LOK upper? Are they in production? They are in production, and will be delivering very soon. So keep a lookout for dealers to have them, as well as our website. So waiting for that sweet Spec War restock. Yep. So we got forgings getting allocated to Spec War, rifle length quad, and rifle length M-LOK. Not a ton of them, but enough to keep your guys' thirst satisfied. Let's see here. Any other questions? Let's get 2 more in here, and then we'll shut her down. Let's see here. Suggestion: reduce the front profile of the MRP gas block to provide more clearance. So we are looking at doing that. Actually, a recent thing came up, and um, gas block reduction. There's a lot of meat on there that doesn't need to be. So we've looked at that. We've also looked at and had kind of an update to the inside of the upper receiver. Another neat thing, and I'll give you guys as a pro tip. And I was just doing it on one of my builds here, getting it ready. If you don't have a crap ton of M-LOK accessories on your system, one of the common complaints about M-LOK is that when you have your accessories in, it reduces or it eliminates your ability to QD the barrel, to quick change the barrel. It does. You still have to, pop off your M-LOK attachments, pull the barrel, which is still way, 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 way faster than a standard barrel change from a standard AR. You've got to remove that stuff, the handguard, the gas block, all that, and change your barrel. It takes you like an hour or a half hour if you're good, to change your barrel, and then retorque your barrel nut and time it and put your gas block, gas tube, all that stuff back in. So removing a handful of M-LOK pieces, which are only quarter turn with an Allen wrench, is no big deal. And do not come to me with that gruff about how disappointed you are that you have to remove your M-LOK foregrip to be able to pull the barrel out. Here's your pro tip, or your insider tip. Get your M-LOK section. I don't have any here with me. Actually, I do. Hold on a second. So hopefully that didn't show that picture and then kill us. But you see your hardware there, how that sticks up. So get this timed and tuned into your rail where it's supposed to be. You lock it up, and then it's good to go. And you do your quarter turn to unlock it. Once you do that, this is pretty much set. You can take a Dremel and trim down the rest of this screw, and that should be enough clearance for at least, like if you had a light sitting on the side, like on the 3 o'clock, that'll be enough for that, you to leave that in there and pull your barrel. Now, if you have stuff on 3, 6, and 9, it won't do it. You just cannot get enough out of it. But you will be able, with one whole side, if you shave these down, if they're using real M-LOK Magpul hardware, you will be able to remove your barrel with at least one side shaved down. So, pro tip for you. Couple more, then we're done. 308 BCG time frame. Don't have one. Sorry. We just get caught up on everybody else. Will you ever sell the shot counter for the grip? Once we can. The shot counter isn't the problem; it's the reader. It's extremely expensive. LMT AT is working on that to see if there's a better commercial option for like a Bluetooth version rather than the high security accessory that you need to read it. Have Estonia shipped. We are shipping them out before the end of the year. So they're supposed to go out last month. We got in some production delays. But before the end of the year, if you have a back order for an Estonian reference rifle, you will get it. And a couple more. Is it really okay to use the LMT torque wrench to loosen the screws? Absolutely. So here's one right here. The torque wrench is not like a standard torque wrench where it has a ratchet set up on it. That I would not recommend doing. On this guy right here, it's got a cog inside there that when it overcomes that spring pressure, it comes up and drops to the next notch. I guess they fit together like this, so they'll whatever. But because of that, when you go the opposite direction, they hit a wall like this, and they're not able to slip. You're also not affecting the adjustable torque or anything like that. So when you using them to tighten, they'll slip and go to that next notch. So being able to utilize that for loosening is perfectly fine. Go ahead and do that. And I highly recommend. This is a great tool. There are other ones out there. So if you want, you can go ahead and do it. And it even says loosen and tighten. So it actually tells you the instructions on it. So you're good to go. So I think that's about it. BRE, my angle grinder. I love it, man. I love it. Do you, and continue improving, guys. I got nothing else for you. I can't give you any dad advice like Flannel Daddy. Great guy, Mike. Look forward to seeing you out at SHOT Show if you have time. He doesn't watch these. I don't even know why I bother talking to him. But yeah, just keep her safe, guys. Enjoy the holidays. Make sure to spend time with your families. And thank you for stopping by for part 2 of our video. Hopefully you got some info out of this one as well. So that's it for now. Next month, hopefully we'll have a new service so we can show weapon systems and complete things. on the screen here, and you know that we won't get kicked off. So thanks, guys. Have a good night, and we will see you later.